Imagine waking up every day with an unshakable sense of purpose, untouched by setbacks, unbothered by the chaos around you, and utterly focused on what truly matters. It sounds almost superhuman, doesn't it? Yet, this was the daily reality for one of the most influential men in history, Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and a Stoic philosopher. His personal notes, a collection that has survived the test of time, are far more than musings from a bygone era. They're startlingly relevant advice on how to harness self-discipline in the whirlwind of today's world. Today, let's dive into the core of Stoicism, exploring its principles not as abstract concepts, but as real tools for a disciplined, fulfilled life. Stoicism teaches us how to turn adversity into strength, emotional turmoil into tranquility, and life's uncertainties into resilience. Whether you're dealing with daily stress, seeking inner peace, or wanting to boost productivity, the Stoic way of life provides profound insights. In a world full of distractions and instant gratifications, Stoicism roots us in the virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and moderation. It's about more than just enduring life. It's about thriving, no matter what comes your way. So, if you're ready to transform how you handle life's challenges, stay with us as we unpack the powerful, life-altering teachings of Marcus Aurelius and how they can be applied to build a disciplined life today. Purpose as a guiding compass. At the heart of Aurelius's philosophy is the belief that self-discipline begins with a clear purpose. But what does it mean to find your purpose? It's about uncovering what truly matters to you, what drives you at your core, and aligning your actions with that calling. For Aurelius, purpose wasn't just an ideal, but a practical compass that guided every decision, from the smallest tasks to the most momentous choices. He believed that understanding one's purpose is what pushes you out of bed every morning, ready to face the day's challenges. It's what keeps you steadfast when distractions call you away. In a modern context, finding your purpose can feel overwhelming. We live in a world crowded with choices and distractions that easily pull us away from our true path. Here is where Stoic wisdom becomes essential. Stoicism encourages us to strip away superficial desires and fleeting emotions to uncover what is truly essential for growth and well-being. It asks us to consider what is genuinely worth our time and energy, and how today's actions contribute to our growth and the greater good. Reflect on what you're naturally drawn to, where you find satisfaction, or which challenges motivate you. These are clues to your purpose. Once identified, the Stoic practice of daily reflection is invaluable. By consistently aligning your actions with your purpose, saying no to what doesn't serve you, and yes to what does, you cultivate the discipline needed for a life rich in meaning. Counting on yourself, embracing self-reliance. For Marcus Aurelius, a central theme in his reflections on self-discipline was self-reliance. To count on yourself is not about isolation. It's about understanding that the ultimate responsibility for our actions, reactions, and personal growth lies within us. Stoicism places a premium on focusing on what is within our control. Aurelius emphasized that by depending on ourselves, we tap into inner resilience and strength. This principle is liberating and daunting. In today's world, where opinions and advice are constantly at our fingertips, listening to our inner voice can be challenging. But Stoicism teaches us to filter out the noise and trust our reasoning. For Aurelius, this internal guidance was the most reliable compass, because it's rooted in reason and virtue. By relying on ourselves, we gain autonomy in our decision-making, allowing us to make choices aligned with our values rather than temporary emotions or societal pressures. This autonomy is vital for personal integrity and a life true to oneself. Self-reliance starts with small steps, setting personal goals and working toward them independently, reflecting on our choices and aligning them with our core values. Over time, these practices strengthen self-discipline, making us more resilient and grounded. The power of showing up every day. A recurring theme in Aurelius's writings is persistence, showing up every single day, not just physically, but mentally. This isn't about monumental efforts unleashed occasionally, but about steady, daily dedication to tasks that forge a disciplined life. For Aurelius, showing up each day was synonymous with living according to nature. Nature demands that we not merely exist, but participate actively in life, contributing to the world through actions, no matter how small they seem. Consistency, Aurelius believed, is where character is truly tested and built. In our modern world, distractions are endless, and motivation can be fleeting. It's easy to feel inspired one day and off track the next. Stoicism, however, values consistency over the fleeting thrill of inspiration. It teaches that showing up every day, even when we don't feel like it, is what builds resilience and strength over time. Turning adversity into advantage. One of the core tenets of Stoicism is the idea that adversity can be an advantage. Stoicism doesn't teach us to avoid hardship. Instead, it provides tools to turn setbacks into growth opportunities. Aurelius believed that life's unpredictability is not something to fear, but a source of strength. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, especially in challenging times. Embracing the Stoic mindset means viewing difficulties as chances to strengthen character. For instance, when faced with obstacles, rather than asking, "Why is this happening to me?" a Stoic would ask, "How can I use this to become stronger?" By reframing challenges, we shift our mindset from one of helplessness to one of empowerment. This approach isn't just about surviving hardships, it's about thriving because of them. Every challenge is an opportunity to reinforce self-discipline and resilience. The practice of daily reflection. Daily reflection is a powerful Stoic practice that allows us to stay aligned with our purpose and values. Marcus Aurelius spent time each day reflecting on his thoughts and actions, questioning whether they were in harmony with his ideals. This practice kept him grounded, self-aware, and focused on what truly mattered. Incorporating daily reflection into our own lives doesn't require hours of meditation. It can be as simple as taking a few moments in the morning to set intentions for the day, and in the evening, evaluating whether we acted in line with those intentions. This habit, over time, builds self-discipline and a sense of purpose. It fosters an awareness of how our choices impact our overall well-being and keeps us accountable to ourselves. Living with courage, justice, wisdom, and moderation. At the core of Stoic philosophy are four virtues: courage, justice, wisdom, and moderation. These aren't just lofty ideals, they are practical tools for living well. Courage is the ability to face difficulties with strength. Justice is about treating others fairly and with respect. Wisdom guides us in making sound judgments, and moderation helps us avoid extremes and find balance. Marcus Aurelius believed that by embodying these virtues, we live in harmony with nature and fulfill our potential as human beings. The Stoic approach isn't about avoiding life's pleasures or suppressing emotions. It's about living intentionally, making choices that align with our values, and pursuing a life of meaning. In today's world, these virtues can guide us through complex challenges. Courage can help us stand up for what's right, even when it's difficult. Justice reminds us to treat others fairly, and wisdom helps us navigate life's complexities with clarity. Moderation encourages us to enjoy life's pleasures without being controlled by them. Wrapping up, applying Stoic teachings in daily life. As we explore the timeless teachings of Marcus Aurelius, remember that these aren't just abstract philosophies, they're practical strategies for a life well lived. Stoicism calls us to find our purpose, rely on ourselves, show up consistently, turn adversity into advantage, and live by the virtues of courage, justice, wisdom, and moderation. So as you go about your day, remember the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and the Stoic way of life. Ask yourself each morning, what am I meant to do today? And each evening, have I lived true to my purpose? Through consistent reflection and intentional living, you can cultivate self-discipline, resilience, and a deep sense of fulfillment. The power of regularity over intensity. True discipline is not born from sporadic intensity, but from the quiet regularity of daily actions. Every day does not need to be a productivity masterpiece. What matters is that no day slips by unnoticed. Whether in career, health, or relationships, progress requires the simple commitment to show up every day. This consistency aligns deeply with the Stoic practice of mindfulness, being present and focusing on today's work without the weight of yesterday's failures or tomorrow's concerns. Marcus Aurelius emphasized this in his writings, noting that focusing on the task at hand with full intent transforms routine into improvement. To build this discipline, start small. Decide what showing up means for you. It might be writing a single paragraph, doing a 5-minute workout, or spending 10 uninterrupted minutes with a loved one. The act of showing up itself, not its scale, is what brings transformation. Building willpower and resilience through daily practice. Each day that you meet your commitment, you reinforce your willpower, building the resilience central to Stoic philosophy. This daily practice embodies Stoicism's emphasis on personal responsibility and self-improvement. It reminds us that, while outcomes may be beyond our control, our efforts are not. In the consistent act of showing up, we develop the discipline necessary for a purposeful life. Aurelius believed in preparing for life's unpredictability by embracing discomfort voluntarily. Enduring small challenges, whether by foregoing certain luxuries, facing physical exertion, or practicing restraint, strengthens mental resilience. If you become accustomed to hardship, life's inevitable adversities lose their power to destabilize. This practice is not about punishment, but shifting from comfort as necessity to comfort as luxury. By occasionally going without, we cultivate a deeper appreciation for life's comforts, seeing them as gifts rather than guarantees. This voluntary hardship not only strengthens resilience, but also fosters gratitude and empathy. When we occasionally experience discomfort, we connect with the reality many face daily, grounding us in shared humanity. To start, choose something manageable, such as waking an hour earlier or choosing the stairs over the elevator. The key lies not in the scale of hardship, but in the intention behind it. Focusing on what we can control. A core Stoic principle is distinguishing between what is and isn't within our control. This perspective reduces anxiety and fosters peace. According to Stoicism, we control our actions, reactions, and judgments, our will, responses, and thoughts. External factors like others' actions or the weather lie outside this control. Aurelius emphasized that being upset over uncontrollable matters is futile and damages well-being. Practicing the dichotomy of control starts with acknowledging that while we can influence events, we can't control them entirely. By focusing on our own actions and releasing attachment to outcomes, we maintain tranquility regardless of circumstances. This doesn't mean becoming detached. Instead, it encourages engaging constructively, directing efforts where they can make a difference. Applying this principle means asking, "Is this within my control?" before reacting to situations. If it isn't, Stoicism teaches us to let it go and move on. This practice requires mindfulness and a reminder of what truly lies within our influence. Setting goals, free from external expectations. The Stoic approach to goal setting focuses not on the outcome, but on the pursuit. While we work towards goals, tying our happiness to external outcomes is a path to frustration. Instead, Stoicism encourages finding satisfaction in the pursuit itself, in the commitment to our values and the effort we invest. Marcus Aurelius and other Stoic thinkers didn't promise a life free of challenges, but offered strategies for inner peace and resilience, no matter life's highs and lows. This principle also entails a deep understanding of personal responsibility and self-mastery. Rather than succumbing to a victim mentality that sees one as a passive recipient of hardships, Stoicism empowers us to take control over perceptions and reactions. Happiness, in Stoic thought, stems more from our internal state than external events. This idea doesn't deny difficulties, but shifts focus from what happens to how we respond. Every external event, according to Aurelius, brings a choice. How will we let this define us? By refusing to play the victim, we reclaim power over our emotional well-being, embracing life with a sense of agency, recognizing the power of self-reflection. Practicing this principle involves self-reflection. Observe habitual responses to challenging situations. Do we look for external factors to blame, or do we take ownership of our reactions? Adjusting these patterns isn't about suppressing feelings, but understanding them and channeling energy constructively. It involves acknowledging pain and disappointments while recognizing our ability to move forward. Every obstacle becomes an opportunity to cultivate virtue and resilience, as Stoicism encourages. Adversity strengthens character, developing virtues like courage, patience, and wisdom. This proactive approach not only builds resilience, but also creates a life marked by purpose and inner peace, regardless of life's challenges. Recognizing choice in moments of helplessness. Stoic philosophy encourages us to transform moments of helplessness into moments of choice. In these instances, we're invited to see challenges not as barriers, but as opportunities to demonstrate our commitment to values like fortitude, resilience, and self-discipline, qualities that define the Stoic ideal. Each obstacle we face becomes a test of our character, pushing us to assert our agency rather than passively react to circumstances. In refusing to play the victim, we embody a Stoic ideal: emotional independence. This mindset allows us to develop an inner fortress of calm and equanimity, from which we can engage with life more fully and freely. This doesn't mean becoming indifferent or emotionless. Instead, it allows us to create a state where our happiness is not easily disrupted by life's ups and downs. In this way, we're not living at the whim of external circumstances, but in alignment with our principles, no matter what challenges life may present. Marcus Aurelius championed this principle as both a personal discipline and a pathway to deeper freedom. By focusing on what lies within our control, we create a sense of satisfaction and self-mastery that allows us to rise above trivial inconveniences. The Stoic approach to overcoming helplessness involves embracing each moment as a choice, a chance to align our actions with our values. In doing so, we experience true independence, where inner peace becomes a steady state that cannot be easily disturbed by the world around us. The power of delayed gratification. One of the core tenets of Stoicism is the practice of delayed gratification. For Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, the art of self-restraint wasn't about denying pleasure, but about cultivating a more lasting form of fulfillment. By choosing to delay gratification, we free ourselves from impulsive desires and direct our efforts toward goals that align with our values and long-term objectives. Delayed gratification in this sense involves a strategic postponement of immediate pleasures in favor of rewards that contribute to our personal growth and well-being. In our modern culture, where instant gratification is not only prevalent but expected, the ability to wait for something of greater value is increasingly rare. Aurelius believed that by mastering impulses and delaying gratification, we maintain freedom over our desires, ensuring that we aren't enslaved by fleeting impulses. Rather than becoming captive to every passing whim, we develop the self-discipline to pursue actions that foster lasting contentment. Simple daily practices reinforce this principle. For instance, saving money rather than indulging in spontaneous purchases, opting for a nutritious meal over fast food, or dedicating time to learn a skill instead of instant entertainment, are examples of choosing delayed gratification. These small acts fortify our Stoic discipline, emphasizing long-term satisfaction over temporary pleasure. Interestingly, Research in psychology also supports the Stoic view of delayed gratification, linking it to better outcomes in career, education, health, and relationships. Individuals who practice this skill tend to handle stress more effectively, achieve goals more consistently, and experience more fulfillment in life. This approach aligns seamlessly with Stoic principles of self-control, cultivating resilience, and living purposefully. Ignoring naysayers and developing resilience. A defining aspect of Stoic philosophy is the practice of cultivating resilience against external criticism. Marcus Aurelius, in his Reflections, often emphasized that personal validation should come from within, rather than relying on the opinions of others. According to Stoic thought, the approval or disapproval of others is beyond our control and should not influence our personal sense of peace or direction. By grounding ourselves in our values and filtering out unnecessary external noise, we can protect our mental clarity and stay focused on our long-term goals. In today's world, where criticism is often just a click away, ignoring naysayers is a valuable skill. This doesn't imply dismissing constructive feedback. Rather, it encourages discerning the source and intent behind the criticism. Stoicism teaches us to ask key questions. Is this feedback informed? Is it well-meaning? Does it align with our core values? By evaluating feedback through a Stoic lens, we reinforce our own judgment and remain confident in our chosen path without being swayed by baseless criticisms or external doubts. Marcus Aurelius practiced this approach daily, recognizing that inner peace is cultivated from within and cannot be easily shaken by others' judgments. The ability to ignore unfounded criticism strengthens our emotional resilience, making us less reactive to negative opinions and more focused on our true purpose. This strength of mind is particularly empowering in a culture that often emphasizes validation through social approval. By stepping outside this cycle and remaining grounded in our principles, we build a resilient self-trust that enhances our independence. Learning through emulation of wise individuals. A fundamental Stoic practice is learning from the lives of individuals who embody the virtues we admire. Marcus Aurelius frequently reflected on the qualities of those around him and sought to emulate their strengths. For him, wisdom wasn't merely theoretical, but a practical guide to living well, best understood through the examples of those who applied these principles in real life. Choosing role models is not about imitation, but about identifying individuals who exemplify Stoic virtues, such as wisdom, courage, justice, and moderation. These role models might be historical figures, contemporary leaders, or even fictional characters from literature who demonstrate resilience, ethical integrity, and rational thinking. Observing the actions of such figures helps us translate abstract Stoic principles into concrete everyday actions, providing us with a roadmap for handling life's challenges. The practice of emulation is a dynamic form of learning. By studying the lives of virtuous individuals, we gain insights into how to face adversity, make ethical choices, and act with intentionality. This Stoic approach to personal growth encourages us to reflect on how others' virtues can enhance our own character, bridging the gap between philosophical concepts and practical application. Marcus Aurelius believed that by surrounding oneself with examples of virtue, we set a high standard for our behavior and decisions. As we internalize the qualities of those we admire, we inch closer to becoming the individuals we aspire to be. This proactive approach to self-improvement strengthens our commitment to growth and excellence, propelling us toward embodying the Stoic virtues that define a life well lived. Reflective practice, the power of daily self-examination. A key Stoic practice is daily self-reflection, a deliberate review of one's thoughts, actions, and responses throughout the day. This introspective process is a vital feedback loop, helping us become more conscious of how our actions align with Stoic virtues like wisdom, justice, courage, and moderation. For Stoics, daily self-examination is not about self-criticism, but about observing and refining one's behavior over time. Marcus Aurelius used this practice to ensure he was growing both as an emperor and as an individual. Incorporating this reflection into modern life can be profoundly beneficial, especially in a fast-paced world where it's easy to lose sight of our deeper goals. Ending each day with a moment of reflection allows us to address lingering thoughts, manage stress, and set intentions for improvement. During this quiet time, asking ourselves questions like, how did I respond to challenges today? Or, did my actions reflect my values? Helps foster self-awareness and strengthens our commitment to intentional living. This habit builds resilience and wisdom, guiding us to live each day in harmony with our principles. Cultivating inner peace through detachment. One of the most transformative Stoic principles is the practice of detachment from things beyond our control. Stoicism teaches that our sense of peace is rooted not in external events, but in our own responses. By focusing on our internal state, we learn to face life's ups and downs without letting circumstances dictate our emotions. This form of detachment empowers us to face challenges calmly and constructively, shifting our perspective from external control to personal agency. When adversity arises, Stoicism encourages us to ask, how will I respond? This approach allows us to take ownership of our reactions, fostering inner strength that remains unshaken by the uncertainties of life. Detachment is not about becoming indifferent. Rather, it's about developing the resilience to engage with life without attachment to specific outcomes. This liberating mindset allows us to approach difficulties as opportunities to refine our character and live according to our highest principles. Voluntary discomfort, building resilience and gratitude. Marcus Aurelius believed that experiencing discomfort voluntarily was a powerful way to build resilience and prepare for life's inevitable challenges. Embracing voluntary discomfort, such as giving up certain luxuries or enduring minor hardships, strengthens mental resilience and fosters a deep appreciation for what we have. This practice helps us shift from viewing comfort as a necessity to recognizing it as a luxury. By occasionally going without, we cultivate gratitude for life's simple pleasures. For example, skipping a meal or walking instead of driving can enhance our appreciation for food and mobility. Such small acts of discomfort train us to handle greater adversities with calm and composure, reinforcing the Stoic ideal of resilience. Voluntary discomfort is also a humbling reminder of the reality many face daily. This practice connects us to the experiences of others, fostering empathy and grounding us in shared humanity. Each act of discomfort becomes an exercise in self-discipline, strengthening our ability to face life's challenges with a composed and resilient mindset. The importance of aligning actions with inner values. At its essence, Stoicism teaches that our well-being depends largely on our ability to act in harmony with our inner values. Stoics believe that much of our growth comes from observing and reflecting on the lives of those who embody virtues we aspire to develop. Emulating wise individuals offers us real-world examples of how to live virtuously. Aurelius frequently wrote about the qualities of others, seeking to internalize their strengths as a way to refine his own character. Emulating these qualities wasn't about copying others, but about enhancing his judgment and actions. For him, wisdom was practical knowledge, best understood through observing those who had effectively applied Stoic principles. In selecting role models, we choose people whose lives align with our own aspirations for resilience, integrity, and rationality. Observing these individuals bridges the gap between Stoic philosophy and daily practice, providing concrete examples of how to navigate challenges with wisdom and grace. Daily self-review, reflecting on actions and intentions. In Stoicism, self-reflection is an essential practice that involves more than recounting events. It is a reflective process for evaluating how our actions align with our values. This introspective habit serves as a feedback loop that encourages self-awareness and improvement. Daily self-review was a practice Marcus Aurelius used to refine his conduct, ensuring he was growing in both his responsibilities and his personal values. Taking time for daily reflection at the end of each day allows us to assess our actions without judgment, asking ourselves questions like, "What could I have done better?" or "Did I live according to my principles?" This habit cultivates resilience and wisdom, helping us stay aligned with Stoic virtues. In our fast-paced world, this practice keeps us grounded in our intentions, allowing us to focus on continual growth. Reflecting on our actions daily is a gentle yet rigorous form of self-accountability, reinforcing our commitment to living intentionally. Conclusion: moving towards Stoic mastery. Thank you for exploring these timeless Stoic teachings with us, rooted in the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius. Remember, every day offers an opportunity to practice self-mastery, embracing the virtues that define a meaningful life. Stoicism is not merely a philosophy, but a way of living, helping us align our actions with our principles, cultivate resilience, and find peace within ourselves. If you wish to dive deeper, consider exploring the next video suggested on your screen. Your presence enriches our Quote Stories Hub community, and we're grateful for it. Until next time, continue living with intentionality and wisdom.